Hi, Professor Pittman here. Good morning. Letting the dog run free, but enough about that. Let's move on to key number 3. Key number 3 is passion fuels improvement. And passionate leaders continually participate in ongoing research and development and personal improvement, and they do this in all areas of their life. They never rest on yesterday's laurels. They know that they got to take a responsibility to become more in order to lead. Do you know what laurels are? Back in ancient Rome and also in ancient Greece, when the generals would come back after being victorious in battle, they would set a wreath of laurels on their head. You've probably seen pictures or images of ancient Greeks where they have like this half crown on their head and it's made of leaves. And I'm not talking about the little Caesar's pizza logo. And anyway, that crown was made of a particular kind of leaf. And I think maybe olive leaves or something like that. And that would be the crown for a particular person in regards to a particular accomplishment. But the reason they use leaves is to make certain to maintain that mindset that, look, these leaves are going to wither and dry, and that represents, okay, great, yay, you did some wonderful stuff, but let's move on, and what's the new direction? Have you ever met a guy who's always talking about how he and his team won that high school championship back in 1973? That's a guy who's resting on his laurels. See, they didn't give him a wreath of leaves, they gave him a full-blown gold crown, and now he's taking that gold crown all the way to the grave. So resting on your laurels means your most recent accomplishments. And leaders don't rest on that. Leaders use that as leverage. They use that as a footing. They use that to gain momentum. They say, great, done this. This is what's next, or what's next. Let's go. This is the new direction. We finished that, and here's where we're going to, here's where we're going now. And also, leaders don't stop learning. As a matter of fact, they keep leveraging the footprints in the snow. They keep leveraging the good works that they've co-created just to keep gaining that forward momentum. For example, if you were to go to my home office, I've got a book there that I just recently got. I haven't completely read it, but it's called Goodbye to Shy. And it's like 85 surefire shy busters. And it's a book that I purchased to create a few drills so that my staff and I can learn to become a little bit more extrovert, a little bit more demonstrative. So I got to come up with a bunch of exercises to help my staff and the men and women on my staff to be a little bit more socially assertive, to be more of who we need to be alongside our training in Pittman Jiu-Jitsu. So I'm recognizing that, hey, these guys need help. I've been giving them my very best, and now I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe I got to dig a little deeper. And so I've been doing a little research on how to overcome social awkwardness and shyness. I mean, who couldn't use that? And this book was recommended, so I bought it. I've turned through it a couple of times, and I found a few exercises that I look forward to using. I think they're going to be appropriate for myself and my staff. So I'm a good leader. If I don't have the resources necessary, I'll find it. If I don't have the depth of knowledge to help someone to do the job that they're passionate about, that they're committed towards, that they've made a decision in their mind and heart to go towards, if they're falling a little shy, then it's my responsibility as a leader to dig in a little deeper and provide some increased degree of help. And I got to go first. Again, passionate leaders continually participate in ongoing research and development and personal improvement, and they do it in all areas of their life. If you were to sit next to me in my home office and were to open up my computer, I've got file folders in that I call the professor files. And in them is all the stuff that I'm interested, how to write, how to speak, how to be more self-disciplined, how to discipline, others, how to, philosophy training, stuff on apologetics, stuff on animals, stuff on relationships, self-help, good self-help stuff. Because you got to stay on the cutting edge. In my personal marriage to Mrs. Pittman, I've got a personal marriage therapist. She's got one. And then we've got an additional couples counselor. And it's worked out wonderfully. So when I say it's important to have a mentor in all areas of your life, listen, I mean it. This is the real measure of a leader. And that is to say, okay, what I'm doing is great. What I'm doing is good. However, what else can I add to my arsenal to increase the depth of my knowledge and know-how, but more importantly, the application, so that I make certain that we got the best chance to get a little bit better. So one of the concerns I have for my instructors who work with us is when I ask them, okay, what else are you interested in? And how are you going to get better at that? Based on what they share with me, I think sometimes determines whether or not they're going to be a viable or valuable instructor in the future. If a guy says, hey, dude, I'm really into paintball, and I like to paintball every weekend, I said, well, do you read? And they say, yeah, I read about paintball guns. I know that this guy is going to be a little bit more difficult to get sharp and pointy than the guy who says, you know, I've been really trying to get better at really putting my ideas together in my head so I can communicate them to my own heart and other people so that I can really make, a big impact. So that's the key. Listen, it's my pleasure working with you today. Thank you so very much. I look forward to working with you next time. In the meantime, keep the faith, keep working, and God bless.